But it's a huge game. I mean, you know, the league season we're talking about not being exactly where United need to be, and also the Europa League as well. You don't really want to be facing a playoff game for the knockout round in the new year if you can avoid it. And obviously to do that you have to finish in the top 8, and to do that they have to start winning more matches in this competition starting on Thursday.
You do, and obviously we're looking at Ruben Amorim now. I mean, we were obviously here getting ready with our camera team from UTV, and we've seen that Ruben Amorim was the first one out.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows that kind of just, we've said, you know, the excitement that's around it, but for him personally, you know, he's out at Carrington getting ready for his first Europa League game. I mean, he said he's a dreamer, and you think in this scenario he is as well. Yeah,
and Manchester United fans want to be dreamers as well, don't they? They want a team that can enable them to dream again, because you know, the position in the bottom half of the Premier League table is the stuff of nightmares, not the stuff of dreams. So obviously they want to change that. Yeah, it was nice to see Ruben first out here leading from the front with it. His assistants then came out to set up the session, and we got a glimpse of that dynamic between the 3 assistants that he's got with him here, Fernandez, Candido and Ferro. We're still learning about all these people, aren't we? New faces, new roles, new dynamics. So yeah, to sort of witness that. And now Darren Fletcher's out here too. We've got Andreas Jorgensen, the other first team coach as well. So yeah, it's a rare opportunity to see training, isn't it? But especially under the new manager, it's the first opportunity many of the media have had to see exactly how that works.
It is, and it's a new system that we were obviously getting used to. At Ipswich, we were both there. I mean, we got to see a little idea, as what Ruben called it.
There was an idea there, wasn't there?
There was an idea. You could see it. You could see, obviously, especially from the midfield front, the fact that there was a lot more of an aggression that was there that you wanted in this system. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I don't think it was perfect, like I said before, but it's a huge transition because it's such a different way of playing, and it's mid-season, and it was during the international break where many of the players had been offered international duty, if not given a rest, because it's been such a hectic season already, and over the next couple of months you're not going to be able to breathe for matches. So, like I say, yeah, not perfect. Dallo gave me an insight afterwards into what it's been like trying to get up to speed with it. He has played wing-back before, like he did at Portman Road for Portugal. He's done it a couple of times for United as well, not often though. And he's probably the one that's least affected. You know, you looked at Casemiro and Christian Eriksen in that first half, and the manager asking them to push up as aggressively and as high as possible. Casemiro's a sitting midfielder. You know, his instinct is to drop back, not to step forward. So that's a change even at the level of experience he's got. That's an adaptation for him. And you sort of, I was sat just behind the benches and watching Amorim give his instructions. Carlos Fernandez, who looks like is his number 2, giving out the instructions in game as well. Some of those little details, eventually that'll just be second nature to the players, but certainly in this first period, getting used to exactly what they need to do in this system is going to be a transition.
It will, and for Ruben Amorim, obviously he has to make sure that every single player gets the opportunities now to see who could best fit this system that he's wanting to implement here. And we're looking at Kobbie Mainoo now. Obviously he didn't make it off the bench, but it could be a great opportunity tomorrow night for him. Yeah,
I'd like to see Kobbie start. It'd be good to see him back in the team for a start, but I'd also like to see how he operates in a midfield 4, really. You know, you look at the 2 sitting players and the 2 number 10s that were quite narrow in the Ipswich game. If the system's similar to that, which I expect it will be, I think it could suit Kobbie to have more players around him to interact with, not being asked to do as much of the sort of physical covering like he was doing when he was playing deep in Erik ten Hag's system. I thought it was strange that he didn't get any minutes at Portman Road. Obviously, he must have been fit enough to feature, otherwise he wouldn't have travelled, he wouldn't be on the bench. But yeah, it did surprise me that he didn't get even a few minutes towards the end of the game, because there was lots of changes in midfield as well.
I know, obviously, lots of changes there. And speaking of, obviously, the attacking threat that we have, Bruno Fernandes as well, you know, he's been involved in 11 goals in 13 appearances at Old Trafford, you know, for the Europa League campaign. A very strong player for us. How important is that? Yeah,
Bruno Fernandes, his importance is clear. It was clear under Erik ten Hag. It was clear under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's the captain. He's probably still just about the best player in this team. I don't know if it was perfect for him either, that game against Ipswich. He didn't seem like he was on the ball as much as he would have been previously. It didn't feel like he had as much influence on that match as we'd like to see from Bruno Fernandes. But again, it's a different role for him. It's a slightly tweaked position with having two number 10s. He swapped sides at half-time, which I thought was an attempt to try and get him involved a little bit more. And the second half was a bit better. But in terms of the goal threat and the creation stats that we normally see from Fernandes, he was a little bit down in that game, and that's something they'll need to sort out.
Yeah, no, and obviously the excitement of Ruben Amorim's first game on Sunday, there was so much kind of attraction around that, a lot of excitement. There's going to be even more excitement for the press conference later on this afternoon, so make sure you tune in for that. And if you tune in on TV as well, you'll get to see the interview with Ruben Amorim ahead of tomorrow's game, and also Bruno Fernandes, so make sure you check out that. Join it alongside me now, I have got club journalist Sam Carney. How are you doing?
I'm very good, Zara. How are you?
I'm all right. It's very sunny, isn't it?
It's bright. It's
I mean,
cold as well.
it's bright, but obviously looking forward to you having a little insight here at training. Is there any particular players that you're looking forward to seeing tomorrow night?
Well, just saying, seen Lisandro Martinez, who obviously missed the last game through injury. Actually spoke to him earlier this week, and he's big on how Amorim's made an impact. And yeah, it was good to hear from him how excited he is for the future under our new head coach. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him. Could we see Malacia, maybe? He's came back in that reserves game a couple of weeks ago, so he's obviously not played for 18 months, has he? So, yeah, big occasion for him if he does get back in the team. But, yeah, like you've been saying, just looking forward to see how we can build on that Ipswich game and, yeah, hopefully get the win.
I mean, it's really trying to build on momentum now, isn't it? Obviously, we've had Ipswich, Bodo Glimt tomorrow night, and then we've also got Everton at the weekend as well, so quite a big game week for us. From obviously the club perspective there, you've done plenty of interviews with everyone. How would you describe the atmosphere at the moment?
I think everyone's still getting used to it. There's been a lot of change, hasn't there? Obviously had the international break, so we've not had many training sessions altogether. So I think we're still looking and seeing what Ruben can do with his team. But just saying to Ian before, I think these next two games now, I don't think you could ask for two better games. Obviously home in front of our own fans. I think Bodo Glimt are going to come out and try and attack us. I think that's the way they play. They're a very attacking team, 4-3-3. And I think Everton will be the opposite of that. I think they'll sit back. So two different challenges. But yeah, just looking forward to seeing how we tackle it and any differences really.
I mean, there's a lot of opportunities in the next couple of games. We've seen that Marcus Rashford was a player that took his opportunity at Ipswich as well. I mean, what have you made of the attacking threat that we're showing? Because we've said, that especially in this moment of transition, players need to take those opportunities, need to grab them, and Marcus did that at the weekend.
Well, he did. He grabbed it after 90 seconds. What a start that was. We were all wondering and dreaming exactly what Manchester United could be after a couple of minutes there. I'm just looking out there. It's not an attacking thing, but there's no Johnny Evans, and obviously he started the game at the weekend, so that perhaps is going to be a change for United. I think the good thing about the attack is there's options. You look at Rashford starting up front. Well, Rasmus Højlund comes on in that position. There's Joshua Zirkzee, I'm sure, who could play that role. In those attacking positions behind, it was Fernandes and Garnacho who started. But you could easily see Ahmad playing in that position. There's obviously Marcus Rashford to drop in when Højlund's further forward if he wants to do it like that. And I think there is going to be an element of sort of trial and error with this. That they'll watch training, they'll see how the players are working in the tactical system and trying to work it out. But United have to find a way to score more goals. They've not scored enough goals now for a couple of seasons, but certainly this year, the goal difference in the Premier League is 0. That needs to change. And I think this game provides an opportunity. You said about Bodo being attacking. They're also potentially going to rotate for this game as well, perhaps surprisingly. Some of the players will be frustrated because for some of them it'll be a once-in-a-career opportunity to play away at Manchester United. But they have a really crucial game at the weekend. Their season works differently to England, so actually they're going into their match at the weekend with one win away from winning the title. They're 1 point clear.
Fourth title win in 5 years as well for them.
Yeah, and they'd never won it before that period, so it's a real sort of purple patch for them. But yeah, I think the manager's going to be looking at this week and saying, well, the Manchester United game's important, but they've got a margin for error in the Europa League, which they've not got in their domestic league. There's one game left, they're 1 point clear, one win against Lillestrøm at the weekend, and they've won it. So that could play into United's hands as well, potentially. And wouldn't it be great to see a win with goals again, please?
It'd be great, especially for Ruben Amorim's first game at the Theatre of Dreams. Thank you both very much for joining me here at Carrington Training Complex. Make sure you tune in later for our press conference show to hear from manager Ruben Amorim and also Bruno Fernandes too. See you soon.